Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video here today. And today we are going over my brand new Spector melee Vex build, which is also using the mantra because the mantra is really good for this build and works really well. So what we are using 5 infel inscriptions. We're gonna go with the skill tree first. 5 infel inscriptions, 5 into code iron, so we get extra gun damage, and our minions also get extra gun damage, which is really nice. We're using 5 engraved fiends, kill skill damage dealt. Vex and her minions you gain damage dealt per stack and the kill skill, so this is really nice when mobbing. Then we put 5 points into Blight Attunement because we need to get down the tree here, and 5 more into here just because we need to unlock Heirloom. Heirloom is very important to this build. Specters gain a copy of Vex currently equipped gun for a duration. Only Specters. One Spectre can have a copy gun at a time. Spawn a new Spectre, remove the copy gun from the previous Spectre, and the Spectre will copy 100% of your gun damage, which is really nice. And then we're using the recurrence. Whenever Vex deals gun or melee damage, gain a stack of recurrence, which increases her minions' gun damage and melee damage. Stack of recurrence are lost if it has not been gained for a duration, so we are always doing melee damage with the mantra. So we are always stacking recurrence, which is really nice. So we're getting both benefits here. This is really good. And then we put 3 into River Burn Nations. If we had more skill points, I would put more into here, but we do not. So this is what we put in here is 3. We put 5 into enhancement. So we get bonus kinetic damage with our guns while action seal is active. Then we put 5 points into Hasty Fiend, so you get a little bit of movement speed with her minions and Vex, plus damage reduction. 2 in Overprotective. 5 into Vorpal Fiend, so we get extra critical hit damage. 5 into Shock Attunement, which so you get extra shock damage and you get extra gun damage while walking. And we also need to get down the tree. For this skill, so we're using 5 points in Diffusion. Whenever Vex and her uses a rocket, her and a minion gains bonus damage with guns and melee for a duration. The nice thing about this is that you get a bonus elemental damage type depending on your attunement. So, say we pop a rocket, we're using the shock mantra, we get bonus shock damage, more shock damage. So we pop the rocket and we're using the fire version, we get more fire damage. Pop the rocket, we're using corrosive, we get more corrosive damage. Basically, whatever you're holding,
Go here next.
say we're holding this, fire is gonna hit way harder.
Going that way.
And see, there we did 76 million fire damage. And one of the cool things about this build, it's not like the most relevant thing on YouTube, but this does work. You can actually run around and punch some enemies, especially fire weak enemies. Especially if your mobbing skill activates, like you can just run around and punch a bit of the enemies. I know we're getting a little sidetracked here, but we're gonna show you guys this real quick. That this is a thing with this build. But you have to be holding the element. So if you're holding fire, you're going to do more fire damage. If you're holding shock, you're holding more shock. You're going to do more shock damage. And then for the the weapons and equipment, we are using the mantra. Ours is 9,104 damage, 7.4 fire rate. And then we have the same one for the shock and corrosive one. And we're also using the linebacker here. So if you want to use, so you can switch over to the linebacker if you don't want to use the mantra for the Bloom's Crystals, because I would recommend it. Switch over to a enhancement that gives you extra radius. You got a Torg one with that, so you can use that during like Bloom's fight or enemies. You know, anything that you get you extra damage, crystals wise. And then we're using the crit knife, so you can have some extra crit damage. And then we're using a hard hitter and enraged rep kit, triple snipe and watch for dinner. And the demonic fire dancer. This has 5 in melee damage and 2 in the river birds. This one has melee damage, axial irritation, and damage dealt. We have 2 action fists, which gives us melee damage, more melee damage, and action skill damage, which is really nice. And then we're using 2 real big fists, so you get additionally 50% more melee damage, which is really nice. And then we put what we're using God Killer, and God Killer is super duper nice. And that is are using for specializations. We are using Riddle You This, a Hone In Mind for extra critical hit chance for action skill and critical hit damage. And then Groundbreaker, so we can store the melee damage. And then we're using Bear Arms. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.